Hi everyone, it's Lehman with Lace Covered Skies, and I am here today to test out these 3 sets that I got from Temu. In my last video, I believe it's going to be the last video, not quite sure how I'm going to put the videos out yet, but in the last video, hopefully, I did an unboxing of the items that Temu sent me. So this would have been 1 or 3 of the items, and we are going to test it out today. So I have my water over here and my paintbrush right here, and I'm just going to be working in this book. I already stamped out all the squares that we're going to test, and let's see how this turns out. I actually think that I'm going to put like a piece of plastic under here just so it doesn't seep through. Yeah, let's just do that. I don't know if like that's what people normally do, but or if this is weird, but we're gonna go for it. All right, so actually I don't like this glare, so let me fold it under. All right, so let's start with this set right here. This is the Starry Night one, and that's the brand, I guess. But we'll start with this, if I can get it open. Okay. All right, so I guess there's like a little lip in here, but you can slide it out. And I think, let me put down another piece of plastic here. See, this is why I love these like packaging. And again, I don't want the glare, so I'm gonna actually, what I'm gonna do first, now I don't work a lot with watercolors, so this is all just me experimenting. So you're watching someone with very little experience test out these items. So I'm just gonna spray water across the whole thing first. I don't know if that's, and this is not a very fine spray. So let me just kind of tip out a little bit of the water, and let's put this on the very edge so you guys can see it. Just don't want too much glare. I'll just remove that. All right. I have my waters over here. So let's just, actually I think I want like a little tester. See, I thought I was prepared. It always happens that I think I'm pretty prepared, and then all of a sudden I need all this other stuff. All right, so let me just put this piece down right here. And let's just go for it. Now, I don't know if there are numbers or something. So I guess this comes out as well. I don't see names. So let's just dig in. All right, let me just let's do it like this. And this will be good to have a video as a reference for me. I'm just gonna go in the order that it is in the pan. Now I did, that water sprayed a lot of water in here. I mean that spray bottle left a lot of water in here. So let's just go for it. Wow. Now I decided to spray the water because I feel like some watercolors it's hard to get a lot of pigment, but this seems very pigmented. So I think that's really cool. Let me just, and this brush is really good too. I usually use really janky brushes. This is just a package from Hobby Lobby that was on clearance, and I love it. This is the first time I'm trying it out. So I actually have 3 waters over here that I'm cleaning my brush out with. Sorry you guys can't see that, but I'm just cleaning it out. I know most people just have 2 waters, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I like to be a little thorough, so I'm having 3 waters. And let's just carry on. Now I decided to get these paints because I'm crazy about metallics. I usually use acrylic paint for my metallics, but wow, I'm not staying inside the lines. But you guys know I don't like things that have a lot of scent. So that's why I thought I should try these watercolors, because watercolors usually are really non-toxic, I think, or at least they don't have a scent. And that's why I wanted to try these watercolors out and see how the metallics work. And so far, I really like them. I feel like this one gave a little bit of a better color than the second color. All right, let me clean this out, and we are going to swatch all of these. So I'm going to try to quickly move along. And use up all 3 palettes. All right, I think there's less water in these. So let me really dig in there. All right. This is also very pigmented. I am really loving these, you guys. I think it's also because of the brush, but this makes me actually want to paint something or color something in with paint. I am not artistic at all. I can't draw. All right. Now let's try out this next color. This looks more of a true gold. There's something in there, a speck of something. This is more of a true gold. So let's just let the water really absorb in there. And let's see. This one doesn't seem as pigmented. It is very glittery. I don't know if there's like too much water. It looks very glittery. Yeah, can you guys see the sparkle there? It looks like shimmery eyeshadow or something. All right. Okay. Let's move on to this more rose gold color. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. This one is more of a light color as well. Yeah, that one's definitely lighter. Wow, there's so much like shimmeriness in these. If you could see my water cup right now. And now we're going to try this more iridescent color. Okay. Yeah, this isn't going to show up too much on here, but it's definitely very glittery. It looks like a pretty highlighter, like for your face. But it's not, it doesn't show up too much. But it's really pretty. All right. Now I am going to continue on to the next palette. So I'm going to clean this up really quick. All right, so that was the Starry Night one. Let me lift it so you guys can see. You guys see how metallic that is? And that's exactly what I wanted. And there is no scent to these, I don't think. No, there's no scent. So pretty. I am very glad that I decided to try this out. I don't remember how much this was. And these pans, they seem small to me. Let me see if I can lift one up. I mean, they actually are pretty thick, so there might be a good amount of paint in there. I'm not sure. But I really love the colors. So if it does last a while, I think it's a good deal, especially for how pretty and shimmery and just like how magical they are. Look at that. I don't think the camera is picking up how pretty it is. It almost comes off like it is acrylic paint, which I really love. All right, I am going to zoom in. I think that's a better decision, right? To zoom in so you guys can really see. Let me leave that in frame so you guys can take a look at those colors. I'm going to try out this same brand. They're all the same brand. 12 Pearl Color Candy Glittery Watercolor. So let's try this out. Now, I think this top piece comes off. These are a little finicky. I remember thinking that when I was kind of looking at this. This one is not opening. Like this side is like way tighter for some reason. I am on the struggle bus right now because I have to open all of them to lift it up. Try using my nail to really get in there. That seems to be working. Okay. All right. So this just lifts up, and I have not tried these out yet. Sorry if that was too close. I haven't tried these out yet. Like that one looks like it's been used. But there we go. Let me move this to the side. And I am going to spray this again because I feel like where it got too much water, Now, I don't want to water them down, but where this one picked up a lot of water, it really made it go on better to the paper. So let me try to just spray on here in a moderate way. Okay. Like to okay. Hope that was okay. I hope I did not spray it too much. I need a finer mist. All right, so I'm gonna grab my paintbrush. Now I know why they only have 2 waters, because it really does clean it off pretty well by 2 waters. All right, I'm gonna turn it this way. Actually, let me zoom out just a little so you guys can see the colors that we're working with. And let's try that. All right, I am going to just start with this color. It is looking glittery and pearlescent like they said. And it is a pretty bright yellow. So there we have that. And let's just keep on going through the colors. I'm at 17 minutes. All right, let's try out this color. I like this color. See, now I feel like I put too much water in there. I like this color because it's reminiscent of this family of colors up here. Wow, this looks pretty pigmented. Now it's very watery right now because a lot of water settled into there. When I go to use it the second time around, I don't think I'm going to spray the water because I feel like this is my first time using it, so it needs a little bit of help. But let's see. Maybe I should try not spraying the other one first, the last palette that we have. All right, let's move on to this color. This one, it's like very deep. It like shrunk or something. This one doesn't look too pigmented. It looks kind of watery. All right. Let me wipe off my brush a little more because there's a lot of water in here. I should have labeled the paper before I started. This one's pigmented, and it's not too pearlescent, I would say. I mean, I'm also not looking at it very closely, so it's pigmented, it's pretty, but I wouldn't say it's very pearlescent or glittery. Like, that's not what stands out about it. All right, let's try the next one. Over here. Whoa, this one looks pigmented, so I'm not going to take up that that much more on the brush. This is beautiful. Very pigmented, very metallic. I love it. I don't necessarily like the color that much, but I love the texture, like how pigmented the color is. Beautiful. I almost feel like I'm testing out eyeshadow, like I'm doing eyeshadow swatches. I watch a lot of makeup videos on YouTube, or at least I used to, and I feel like I'm doing like makeup swatches. Eyeshadow. All right, now let's go on to this purple color here, which looks extremely fun. Okay. Surprisingly, this is not that pigmented, so let me see if it's because I didn't take up enough on the brush. Yeah, maybe I didn't take up that much on the brush, but it's not as pigmented as like that one. Let's try taking just a little more. It's a very pretty color. All right. Let's move on to, should I go like this or like this? Let's go like this. Okay, this one looks really pigmented. Yeah, it is more on the side of very pigmented, but it's not as pigmented as some of the metallics. All right, that's a really pretty color too. I'm not very artistic, like I can't really draw or paint. And as I'm doing this right now, I realize you really have to have a steady hand, it seems. Okay, let's try out this color. Wow, it looks sparkly. This is very bright. It's really pretty. I like that. I will say that the more metallic colors are really pretty. Like they're very impressive. But the more ordinary colors, the less sparkly things, they're not drying down as pretty, in my opinion. I'll give you guys a close-up once I'm done. Okay, there's like a hole in this one. You guys see that? All right, let's see how this turns out. This one's really pretty too. It's not so pigmented, but it looks very glittery and pearlescent. I will have this linked down below And I'll also have everything that was in that unboxing linked down below. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have been posting less frequently because my schedule has gotten busier. So I'm really trying to find a new routine. But, sorry if you can hear my stomach growling. But I'm trying to get more regular with my videos and get more of a routine going so I can be more productive. I'm really kind of all over the place right now. This one's very pigmented. It's more reminiscent of these metallic colors. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out a schedule that works for me. Yeah. So hopefully I'll be more regular with the posting. All right, now let's try this color. Very pigmented. Yeah, it's very deep. This color would be really pretty for like a shabby grungy rose journal or something. Right, we're moving on to this one right here. Okay, this one didn't get that much water, so let's see how it's going to work out. It's a pretty nice color. It's very pearlescent, but not too dark. I really like the shade. All right, now we're going to move on to the next palette. I do kind of like the decision of having 3 waters though. It's really cleaning off that brush. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. We're going to try this one, and I am not going to spray water and see how that works out. I feel like I'm going to like this palette better than the last one because these colors are more pastel. Oh, there's numbers on here. If you guys can see that. But I feel like I'm just going to put it in a different way every time. All right. Let me move this forward without spilling my water. And we're going to continue on. All right, I am going to start with this color here. It's probably going to be similar to that color. It's coming off a little purple. It's kind of very cool. I don't know if that's because there's still something left on the brush, but it's pretty. All right, let's try this one out. So another very light color. Let's see how it dries down. Now let's move into this gold right here, which might look like one of these ones over here. This one's very watery as well. So I don't know, is it watery because I didn't spray directly in there? Or is it watery because it's a lighter palette? Okay, let's move on to the yellow. Now, I dropped a big drop of water in there, so that it might make this more pigmented, but this color is also much darker than these. Nope, it's also very light. Let's try to build that color up a little bit. Yeah, it's still definitely a very light color, but it is getting more pigmented. Let me try to make it really dark just to... There. Alright, now we're going to move on to the orange. Yeah, this palette is a little bit more sheer. I'll tell you guys my favorite at the end. I'll tell you guys my favorite palette and my favorite color. Alright, let's move on to this green. I don't think there's going to be much difference between these two greens right here, but we'll find out. I'm trying to pick up a lot of paint on the brush here. Let's see how this turns out. Very sheer. Very sheer, guys. So if you guys want something sheer, this is the palette to go for. This is more, I would say, like a typical watercolor. Although don't get me wrong, there's a lot of glitteriness and pearlescent. Like it gives off like an iridescent type of look. So it's not like a flat watercolor, but I think to me it seems more like a watercolor because it's sheer. Like it's not giving off too much pigment. So far that's what I'm thinking. But I thought this would be my favorite, but spoiler alert, it's a little sheer for me personally. Although if you find the perfect project for it, then it could be just what you need. That happens to me all the time. Like my first impression of something is not so great because I don't like the idea of it as much. But once I find the purpose for it, it's like that thing is meant for that project. I like light colors I mean, I like pastel shades, but I like a lot of pigment. So this is where acrylics come in to play for me, because I really love how acrylics look, because they're so pigmented and they're opaque. These are not opaque. All right. Oh, I think I made extra boxes. I think I counted wrong. Wait, how's that possible? Oh my gosh, I skipped 2 colors. How did I do that? You guys are probably yelling at the camera if you could. Like, you can't see this one that I'm dipping into, but I skipped this one that you guys probably saw. Yes, very sheer. Although, whoops, I dipped into the wrong water. Although, I do have to say that painting with the more sheer paints, and this is where kind of leads into what I was talking about earlier. If you find the right purpose for something, or if something is not your favorite, there's still a good and a bad to it. Like, the sheerness is not my favorite, but it's so much more forgiving. It looks like I painted this the best compared to these two, or at least compared to this. It's so much more forgiving, and it's looking better, I think, after it dries down. So see, like, it's happening right in this video. I feel like with anything, nothing is good or bad. Well, most of the time. Nothing is good or bad. There are strengths and weaknesses to everything. Like with this palette right here, the weakness I would say is that it's so sheer. It's not gonna, if you need a project, if you want to do something that's very striking, this might not be the paint for you. But in the same vein, because it's so sheer and it's, I guess, a little more subtle, although it's drawing down very nicely. But the subtlety is also what makes it come off better on the page. It looks more smooth, I guess you could say. So we're on our last color. It's turning out that I really like this palette. It's making my painting, or lack of painting skills, look more skilled than it actually is. All right. So this was a video where I tried things out, but I think I can kind of give you guys a review. All right, let me zoom out. Actually, let's zoom in and look at everything really closely. So this first one is really nice. I mean, I'm a big gold / metallic person, so I really like how this one turned out. And it looks better in person, I will say. This one is very pigmented. Same with this one. This is very glittery, but it is coming off pretty dark, so that's nice. This one's nice too. Like these lighter colors, they are nice. They're just not, like, you can't really see them as much. This one is not as shiny. I'd say it's more of a matte gold in a way compared to these, especially this one. It's not as glittery. All right, moving on to the second palette. You guys can take a look at the colors there. They are darker. I love this texture. That's not my favorite color, but the texture is so nice. It's so shiny. It's almost like foil. And this is pretty nice as well. These ones right here, see how you can really see the line through there? It's more sheer compared to this one where you can't see through the paint there. This one's light but really pretty. So there we have that. And last but not least is the more pastel palette. You guys can see it's a really nice range of colors, in my opinion. It jives much better than this one. So if you're doing a project where you need a lot of colors, I think these colors go so well together. And for how sheer it is, it does have a lot of pink pigment. For how light the palette is, I really like how it's coming off on the paper. But yeah, I hope. And there I go spilling the water at the very end of the video. Luckily it did not get anything because everything on here is waterproof. But there you have it. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you, like, it gave you some indication if you want to try these out. I am really glad I picked them out. They did turn out to be as impressive as I thought they would be, but I didn't have very high expectations because I was like, how far can watercolors really go? But I hope you enjoyed this video. I will have this linked down below, and if you want to see the unboxing that I did in the last video, go ahead and check that one out as well. But thank you so much for watching today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye everyone.